It is just about time to book lightning lanes for my upcoming Disney World trip. Come with me to see how it works. Hi, I'm Shannon from wdwprepschool.com, and I am preparing to book lightning lanes for my own trip. Today is October 30th, 2025, and tomorrow is my lightning lane booking day. If you ever want to know what your booking day is, just ask your phone what is 7 days before your check in day if you're staying on site, and it will tell you. The basics of this, if you want to learn more about lightning lanes, I did create a primer video where I explain how the lightning lanes work. So go watch that if you need kind of the starter information. Some of the things I mentioned in that video are that you need to pick the parks for each day of your trip and then the lightning lanes that you want to book. So for my upcoming trip, I'm getting lightning lanes for 4 different park days. And for each of those days, I have figured out which lightning lanes to book using my own cheat sheets to prioritize because we have lists of priorities of what we suggest booking for everybody, but we use it for ourselves. The order that you book them in when it comes time to book should not be chronologically, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. It should be by priority. What are the things that are disappearing the fastest? Book those first so that you don't miss out. For my own plans, I have 4 different park days. Ironically, it's not Magic Kingdom this trip because we're doing other things. But the first day, we're doing November 7th, Animal Kingdom, November 8th, Hollywood Studios, November 9th, Epcot, and November 10th at Animal Kingdom. Within each of these, I have figured out which priorities I want based on our cheat sheets, and those are the ones I'm going to book. To determine which lightning lanes are on my list of priorities, I went to our cheat sheets, which list out the top priority picks, the next best, and then the lowest priority ones. So this is the graphic for Animal Kingdom, and you'll see at the top it says Kilimanjaro Safari and Navi River Journey are the top picks, and those two are on my list to book as well. And then from the next group, we have Dinosaur Expedition Everest, Cali River Rapids, and Zootopia Better Together. And that one is the one that I'm going to book, Zootopia, because it's a new show. So that gives me my 3. If we hop over to Hollywood Studios, now we have ride tiers. So we have to pay attention to not only top priorities, but the tiers they belong to, tier 1 or tier 2. The top priority picks here have a little bit of both. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Slinky Dog Dash are tier 1. Tower of Terror is tier 2. And then from the next group, we have 2 that are tier 2 and 2 that are tier 1. For our trip, I'm choosing Slinky Dog Dash from tier 1 and then Alien Swirling Saucers and Toy Story Mania from tier 2, because then I can have all of Toy Story Land and do them together. Skipping over to Epcot, we have the top picks and the tiers align here. So the tier 1s are all top priorities: Frozen Ever After, Remy's, and Test Track. And then the next 2 groups are all tier 2 selections. I will likely choose Remy's for ours because Test Track has a single rider line and Frozen Ever After is pretty easy to rope drop for a while without a long wait building there. And then from the next group, I'll choose probably Spaceship Earth because it just reopened and we just kind of want to see it since it's been closed, and Soarin' just because we like it. The other 2 are pretty easy to do without long waits, so I don't necessarily want to use a lightning lane for those, at least not for now. If we were going to Magic Kingdom, we would obviously do the same thing. The top priority picks here are Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan's Flight, and Tiana's. I would probably pick Tiana's if we were going because I like to rope drop Peter Pan's Flight and then pick a couple from the tier 2 group. Once you get to the parks and you tap in for your first lightning lane, you can book any lightning lane that is still available. The tiers don't matter when you get there. So this is only for pre-booking. You might be wondering how to determine my priority. Like, if you're not booking chronologically, how do I know what priority to do it in? And the way that I did it for this trip is I went to the Thrill Data website and it helped me to determine what was disappearing. I headed to the Thrill Data Lightning Lane page, which I will link in the description. And they have sections for every park with the lightning lane options listed across the top and the dates on the left. So for Magic Kingdom, for example, you can take a look at whichever attractions you're interested in booking and you can see if they seem to be popular, in demand, disappearing quickly. The green color indicates that the return times are still in the morning, yellow is afternoon, and red is evening. So that means that the red ones are the highest in demand and they need to be the highest priority. You can scroll to all of the parks to see what the highest priority is, and that will help you determine what order to book when your booking window opens up. So the order of priority for this trip happens to coincidentally be chronologically, but that never ever happens because Animal Kingdom is our first park day, and that would usually be the very last one that I would book. But because we are there the day that the new Zootopia show opens, it is a higher priority. But I think this is just a good lesson for everyone to go and check for their own trip because we can tell you in general how it works all day. For instance, in general, Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios are going to be first, and Epcot and Animal Kingdom will be last. But in our case, it isn't, and it is worth checking to see which lightning lanes are disappearing. Booking opens at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 a.m. my time. So I'll be back early in the morning to walk through the booking process with you. Good morning. 4:45 alarm hits early. So I am obviously just got up and I need to pull up my list of lightning lanes, get my credit card ready, all that kind of stuff. But I have to switch to my phone in order to book it. So I'm going to switch you to my laptop cam while I do that. Okay, so we're in the 30-second countdown for lightning lanes to open up, and I'm just logged in to my app only. It's 5 o'clock now, so 5 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock Eastern. The first thing I'm doing is selecting my first day, November 7th, Animal Kingdom. For this day, I'm only getting multi-pass. I'm not doing the Flight of Passage on this first day, but I'll catch it later in the trip. We have the two of us going on this trip. And I want to get Zootopia and Dinosaur and Expedition Everest. Okay, these are the times to snag for me. Notice the Zootopia one's later in the day because that one's disappearing quickly. So it did not use my Face ID, obviously. Okay, so you see how this is a transaction? So one day is a transaction. And then I can purchase for another day. So I'm going to go in and go to my next most important day, which is November 8th at Hollywood Studios. And we're going to do multi-pass and reservations and single pass. You'll notice the prices because they vary. Okay, we've got two of us. I don't know why our avatars aren't showing up though. Those are not the avatars we set. I'm gonna have to look into that as soon as I get done. Okay, so my tier 1 is Slinky Dog Dash. And then I told you I was gonna do all the Toy Story Land things. So Alien Swirling Saucers, Toy Story Mania. Okay, so it got me Slinky Dog in the evening. I'm gonna maybe look at modifying these. I guess these are all in the evening, these three. So if I move my Alien Swirling Saucers this evening, then they can all be close together. It says selected times overlap. Yeah, but you chose it. What do you mean? Okay, this is being very fussy. I guess that worked, but that was annoying. $108 for one day at Hollywood Studios for lightning lanes. Great. This all really adds up, doesn't it? Okay, so that took way too long. Let's move on to Epcot, which is November 9th. Epcot. Let's do both. Well, the person I'm traveling with doesn't ride Guardians, so in order to do it, I'm gonna have to do multi-pass first, and then I we'll go back and do the single pass for Guardians because that one will be just for me. Okay, so I said I was going to do Remy's from the Tier 1. And then let's do Spaceship Earth and Soarin' from Group 2. And these are all in the morning. Those are easy. So that's fine. All right. So now, as soon as this processes, I'm going to purchase, it says for another day, but really it's the same day. I'm going to go back into November 9th, and I'm going to choose the single pass just for me because I'm the only one that can ride it. Okay, there's Guardians. It fitted in midday. I actually need it in the morning if it will let me overlap. Okay. Purchase that one single pass, and then as soon as this processes, I'll have 1 day left, which is November 10th. And this one is another Animal Kingdom day for me, for us. And we're gonna go ahead and get multiple things here. We're gonna get Kilimanjaro Safari, Navi River Journey. Navi River's the hardest one. Kilimanjaro Safari and the Zootopia show again. These are already to the afternoon. Is it because I don't have a Park Pass reservation? I thought I did. But anyway, usually when you have an annual pass and you don't have a Park Pass reservation, they won't let you do Lightning Lanes until 2 o'clock or later. So I'll double check that once I'm done here. Okay, so $80 for this day. My last purchase. All right, and boom. I'm gonna click on Lightning Lane passes, and it shows everything that I just booked. All right. So now I need to go and compare these to what my plans are for that day and see if I need to modify any of the times. So I'll do that in just a second. But anyway, there you go. Okay. Now that I've had a chance to kind of wake up and figure some things out, I did go through and review all of my Lightning Lanes that I got, and some of them were way off, and I was able to modify them. And here is how that works. To choose a new time, go into your existing Lightning Lane, click Modify, and then it will give you some time options that you can choose from. The top row is by hour, and then within that you have specific times that you can choose. Click Save and continue, and that's it. But there were a few that I couldn't modify because there just weren't earlier times available. So I'm going to set those up in Weight Magic, and I'm going to let Weight Magic try to modify them for me. I am going to add a modification for one of my attractions at Hollywood Studios. You go into Weight Magic and do create a new search, select your party, your park, and then the specific Lightning Lane. In this case, it's going to be Toy Story Mania. I want it to be earlier in the day. Make sure the right date is selected. And then you have choices of booking or modifying. I like to do modify until stop, so it just continuously looks. I want the earliest available time in the day, and then I'm going to create the search. And after that, you'll see it listed in your account along with the other 2 that I've set up for this trip as well. So that is it. The Lightning Lanes are booked. I have 3 that are set up in Weight Magic to be modified because I want them at different times. But other than that, I'm set to go. So hopefully that is helpful, that you can kind of see it in action, see things that can go wrong, see how to change things if they aren't what you want them to be, etc. But let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching.